Getting it hard away, Southern T, back with another EP. And y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. If this your first time, do your boy solid. Don't make it your last time. Hit that subscription button as well. Talk this good boxing, MMA, sports, parlays, predictions every single day, and not just today. Today we're here with a boxing EP. We're here with a boxing breakdown. I already broke down the co-main event to this fight, which would be Chevron Clark and Jack Macy. We're here with the fight breakdown between Chris Billiam-Smith and Rozicki. I always want to call Rod Hot Rod for some reason, right? Because no, it's another Hot Rod that fight for Zuffa, but I think he's a light heavyweight. You know what I mean? Light heavyweight, cruiserweight, something like that. But I always want to call Rozicki Hot Rod. But I've been catching myself all week getting ready to call him Hot Rod, and that is not his name, right? But we got Rozicki versus Chris Billiam-Smith, right? Kind of like Hot Rod, though. You know, Rozicki is a powerful puncher, right? Now, he's not the most skilled guy, you know what I mean, in the world. He's not going to, box anyone's socks off or anything like that, but he is a tough cat, right? Tough individual. He's going to bring the fight. He's looking for a fight, right? He's a guy who seeks knockout, right? You know how some guys, they get knockouts without trying, right? They just box well and they can get stoppages. Rozicki seeks knockouts, right? He seeks stoppages. That is mostly his game. He's a brawler. He comes forward. He puts that pressure on you. He hits you until you stop. You know what I mean? He's going up against Chris Billiam-Smith, who you could almost say is the exact opposite. But Bellum has a bit of brawler in him as well. Not a lot, but it is in there. He does bring it out every now and again. I don't think it necessarily because he wants to, right? A lot, most times when he does it, it's because he has to, right? The prettier the fight is, the better it is for Chris Billiam-Smith. Chris Billiam-Smith is a guy that prides himself in his boxing skills, right? So basically, you have the boxer in this fight, which would be Chris Bellum versus the brawler, but Chris Bellum isn't, opposed to having to, dig down and gut it out and brawl it out himself. So interesting uh factor, right? When it comes to those two, when it comes to these two, right? In this fight. Again, this is going to be a Zuffa card, right? It's going to be a Zuffa card. It's going to be Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. This could be a Saturday card. This could be a Saturday card. I think it's a Saturday card. Hope it's a Sunday card. Let's check real quick before we get into it, and we'll get into about to get into the schematics, right? Because we're here for a good time, not a long time. It's going to be 6-6. Yeah, so that's Saturday, right? 6-6 is Saturday. Friday, yeah, it is. So it'll be this fight card will be Saturday, not Sunday, not as usual Sunday, right? But anyway, I digress. Enough of that. Chris Billiam-Smith versus Ryan Rozicki. Chris Billiam-Smith is uh coming off a win, right? 21 to 13 KOs. Again, like I said, he's a guy that likes to box. He's coming off a win over Brandon Glenn. He fought Brandon Glenn in 2025 in April, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's fighting Ryan Rozicki. Ryan Rozicki is 21, 1-1 with 20 knockouts, right? So you have one fighter with 20 plus fights and 13 knockouts. You got another fighter with 21 fights with 20 knockouts. So understand what Rozicki is coming here to do. Again, I do think Chris Bellum is going to be the better overall boxer. Rozicki is going to be the brawler in this. He's going to want to make this a fight, not a boxing match. If Chris Billiam-Smith could weather the early storm, right, I think he could make this fight pretty easy, right? If he could weather the storm, if he could not get sucked into, a catch and shoot with Rozicki, then I think he could. He's the better boxer. I think he could outbox Rozicki and get this victory, right? But if he comes in, let's just say a little out of shape. If he comes in, let's just say a little unfocused. If he comes in, right, he gets hit and he completely throws his game plan away. At any point, if he decides I'm just going to bang with Rozicki, right, and not use my superior boxing skills, He will indeed lose this fight. I was supposed to drop this video Monday, but you see, it's Thursday and I'm dropping it today. Just because I really, really had to sit and think about this. I had to sit with this some time and I really had to think about it. And I really almost took Rozicki, right? I'm looking at the odds value wise. The value is with Rozicki, uh, right? But when it's a boxer versus a brawler, I tend to lean on the side of the boxer, right? So this Chris Billiam-Smith pick, it is a lean. It's not a high confidence thing. I'm not telling you to go to the bank, take it to the bank. My lock pick of the week is Ramirez today, and Ramirez by knockout. That's my lock pick of the week at minus 165. But I am taking Chris Billiam-Smith to win this fight, but I'm not excited about it. I'm not ecstatic about it. It's not a high confidence pick, right? But I do think Chris Bellam should win this fight. But there are ways for Rozicki to win this fight, y'all. If anything, as far as betting this fight, I'm going to wait to live bet it because I want to take deep down, I want to take Rozicki, actually, right? But I think Chris Bellam should be able to get this win because he is the superior boxer. You know what I mean? Of the two, 2 inches in height, 3 inches in height, 2 inches in arm reach, right? So he's going to have he's going to have the measurables, right, to keep this fight at a distance and not muck it up and keep it from getting mucked up because that's what Ryan Rozicki is going to want to do to Chris Bellam, right? So I'm taking Chris Bellam to win, low confidence. Chris Bellam don't get many stoppages. Rozicki wants a stoppage. Chris Billiam-Smith don't get many stoppages. So even this fight, method is tough, right? But I would say this: if you're picking Rozicki to win, you're probably thinking Rozicki KO. If you're picking Chris Billiam-Smith to win, you're probably taking Chris Billiam-Smith on the cards. And that's just how I see it. You want to talk about a 50-50 fight? This Chris Billiam-Smith is a minus 370 favorite, and I think that's mostly because he's just fought at a higher level. He has the bigger name. He's fought the bigger names. But I do think these guys are, especially style-wise, right? They may not be 50-50 in skill, right? Chris Bellam may be more skilled, but style-wise, this is a 50-50 fight because of the tools that Rozicki brings to this. He brings toughness, he brings constant pressure, he brings power, and that could always be dangerous. That's always, you know, dangerous when you're in the ring. But that's all I got for y'all, man. I ain't gonna keep y'all here too long, right? Skin the Hardaway Southern T. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but it's the present. Let's have. Oh, my bad. I got Chris Billiam-Smith to win this fight. Chris Bellam decision. Not a high confidence pick though, but it is a pick nonetheless. I do think this fight goes the distance. Right. Again, low confidence pick. Chris Bellam-Smith. Chris Bellam-Smith decision. Right. My lock pick of the week is Ramirez KO. Right. So y'all make sure y'all check out the videos on my page. My Chevron Clark and Jack Massey pick is up there as well. Right. Make sure y'all check those out. I appreciate y'all folks sliding through. Skin Hardaway Southern T. This ain't the past, ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Look.